The seventh day of Chickenfoot, JoJo said to us, down the drain. Down the Drain is a song that, thank God we didn't put it on the record after Soap on a Rope, because you'd think it was some kind of concept thing, like, the soap, and then it goes down the drain, and then you got to get it up, and there's a sexy little thing that comes in, but she's running out, and it's like, Dark Side of the Moon all of a sudden.
Does that work with the Wizard of Oz?
That's right. I think, yes, that's right. I think if you play the Chickenfoot record, it works well with Reservoir Dogs, exactly. Or some 70 porn, I'm not sure which. Behind the Green Door, I believe it was an original soundtrack for it. Now that's all like Joe does play a lot of wah-wah. I think Joe did it one time. Oh, it did say on the eHarmony, the profiles where you're trying to like find out the people, that you have a lot of common with, played a lot of wah-wah guitar on 70s porn. Joe Satriani immediately, match. I've seen a couple films in my day. I'm not sure which one. Talking about it, he's played on, but where was I? Played it once. What you hear on the CD is the only time we played it. One time. Did I mention we only played it once? And we were really connected, looking at each other. I'm going to the chorus now. Down, the hits, the stops, the double time thing, the whole thing was done one time. And it's really just taking notes out of the air and communicating with the other guys and everybody really being connected. And it was amazing. It was like, wow. And it was like, Andy, did you record that? So now we're playing it. We had to learn it because we never even, we made it up. Now we have to learn what we made up. But it's a good one.
Down the Drain is the one song that was written, recorded, everything in one shot in the studio. This, to me, represents four guys who have the chemistry that just locks in together, that you can do something like that and just out of a jam in the studio. Besides the fact this is the first time this has ever happened with me in a band, that as we're jamming it, working it up, whatever, I mean, we weren't even working up, we were just jamming, that we're actually recording it at the same time. That's chemistry right there.
Down the Drain is the backside of Soap on a Rope. It's the end result. We were actually cutting Soap on a Rope, and that day we were going to come back in and recut it and see if we get it better. And Joe started playing that riff, and Chad started playing a beat. And I'm saying, is that new thing, Joe? Because he said he had a new song, but it was another song. Now that I remember, it was My Kind of Girl that but he didn't have, hadn't played us some music yet, what ended up being My Kind of Girl. So it was, Down the Drain was just an extension of Soap on a Rope. We got distracted, got sidetracked, had never played any of those parts before, played it from beginning to end, about 20 minutes, thought it was great. We just kept playing it, played, jammed on it, came back, played it, without stopping, went in, heard it, said, this is great, cut it down, made a song, I wrote lyrics, went back in and re-sang it, but I was re-singing exactly what I was singing on the demo, but with lyrics, because on the demo when we were doing it, or it wasn't even a demo, I was going, don't baby jungle gone, don't go bang on, don't go do don't bang, kind of a Chili Pepper vibe, And so after I wrote the lyrics, it was great. And I sang on the original one, though, Down the Drain. That's how it got named that. The second we played it, we came out and said, that's called Down the Drain, by the way, And it's an amazing thing to play a song once only ever and have it recorded and make a record out of it and done. And we never played it again till we rehearsed the other day on Monday. First time we ever played the damn song. Oh, everyone said it gave them goosebumps. They said, man, when they heard it, they're going, oh, man, the comments on the website, man, it made me hungry, It's like, it really did. It just had such a relaxed magic about it, and there was no overdubs, just guitar, bass, drums, no vocal, just that little piece. So it was so heavy sounding. It was like, wow, that's Chickenfoot. That's what we sound like, folks.
Joe?
Yes?
Tell me about Down the Drain. You had that song for a long time?
Yes, actually, back in the Squares.
The Squares, my favorite band. God, your singing was good then.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, it was that song actually. It was called Up the Wazoo actually, and it had a series of high G's, and I never recovered.
Never did, huh?
Do you hate it during interviews when people do this?
Love the sound, man.
I was feeling kind of okay. Sorry about
that.
Anyway, so what are we talking about?
So you're incorporating that into Down the Drain.
Down the Drain. Well, this story has been told many times, and it is still true that the song was written. It was a four-way. I know that sounds sordid, but it was a four-way. We were having a four-way in the studio right then and there. We wrote that song as it was being recorded. We weren't talking. We weren't saying, "Hey, try a G" or something like that. No, we were just improvising all together at once. And that's the recording of that instant composition. But how it got started, I guess, is kind of funny because we had all just tightened our skins and tuned our strings and cleared our throats and getting ready to do a completely different song. And I'm sitting there playing a little bit of Rubina's Blue Sky Happiness from the Extremist record, just checking my tuning on my first couple of strings. And Chad's giving me that funny look like he maybe, hey, what are you doing? I want to do something like that too, you know? And all of a sudden we just start playing. And this groove is starting up. And Mike's looking at us, and because, you know, we're at Skywalker, so we're all looking at each other as we did all these recordings. And the only difference is Sam is in his vocal booth around the corner, so I can't see him. So he starts saying, "Hey, Joe, is this the new song?" Because he thinks it's the song that eventually became My Kind of Girl, but I hadn't showed it to him yet that day. So we were going to do this other song. So he keeps saying, "Is that the new thing? I like it. I like it." And then he just starts singing because he thinks, I guess we're writing this new song and this is what the melody should be like. And so we just kept doing it and doing it. And about 7 minutes later, we had created this masterpiece of a performance. And we were just like, I remember looking, and I saw the red light was on, but I was hoping, I hope it's really on. And of course, Andy came out saying, "That was brilliant. What was that? Was that the new song?" And it was like, yeah, I'll take credit for that. Sure, I wrote it. But actually, it was one of those things. It just sort of happened. It was fantastic. One thing I like about it, though, is from my perspective, the way I was playing, I kept playing in a way where I kept thinking, don't put the strings out of tune, because any moment, Chad's going to go, okay, that's it. Let's get back to what we're really supposed to be playing. So it somehow changed the sound of the guitar, the way I was playing from it. And then when it was done, I thought, I got to do that more often. Do that play very lightly as if I don't want to put anything out of tune. And it gets a different tone out of the guitar. So I actually learned something from that experience.
2, 3, from Chad, Joe, Sammy, and